got to feel in heaven when my lover's near. Lord, let this moment last for another year. Though today has ended, the night's still young, I'd say. Lover, don't go away. Let it be the thing that I am longing for. Let's fly out from Manhattan to the California shore, just to watch the ships at night on the San Francisco Bay. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Don't say you have to go. Don't say you need to run. Stop the clock on Central Station and we can have a drink downtown. Let it be the night that I am longing for. Let's fly down south to Austin or to Ecuador, just to drink pina colada on a hot, wet summer's day. Oh, lover, please, please stay. Yeah!
We're not there.
We're not there.
We're not there.
We
Why
are
are we
here.
there?
Why are we not here?
That was hilarious. There we are. Wow.
Have you seen these people?
That was amazing how we did that. We just appeared.
I'm sorry. I've got some onions on the stove caramelizing.
Yes, we're caramelizing some onions. We're already into the cooking for today. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, star crazies everywhere. Welcome to the Stir Crazy Sound Cassette. I'm the Divine Danny D.
I'm Elle Diabloe.
And today we're all about Muppets!
Yeah!
I just had that.
Did you vent for that?
What are you doing?
What happened?
Oh, just. I had a little bit of belly.
Bellied?
I bellied. Yes, today is all about the Muppets. It's our episode, which I'm quite proud of my title.
Get felt up. I like it too.
That's it. If there was a Muppet porno, I think that's what it'd be called.
I'm standing right behind you. Sorry.
If there was a Muppet porno, no, there's something close.
I wouldn't know.
There is Meet the Feebles.
Oh.
Which is very, very. Have you seen Meet the Feebles?
I think you.
It's.
I recall having this conversation.
Back when Peter Jackson was making his crazy horror films and stuff, he made an adult version of what he considered the Muppet Show called Meet the Feebles, which is very disturbing.
I think I watched this.
It's a lot of fun. Hello, lovely people. Thank you for joining us. Today's going to be such a fun day. We're going to talk about the Muppets. We're cooking a lot of food today.
It's not that we're cooking a lot of food. It's just that it's a multi-step process. Let me explain to you how we arrived here.
Get this to work here. You do that.
Yes, as I'm talking to the people. Let me explain to the people how we arrived at this, because traditionally you're going to say, what? Muppet and what? So I had originally wanted to do a fancy pig in a blanket in honor of Miss Piggy. And then I had this moment, because clearly I'm really with the program these days,
Right.
where I kept thinking to myself, wait, you bought hot dogs for a show recently. And I couldn't for the life of me remember, and it was the episode like 2 weeks ago. So we're not doing pigs in blankets.
No,
so I
we're
went
not.
back to the drawing board and I Googled Muppet recipes, and I came up with a recipe from Muppets Most Wanted, which is the recipe for Konstantin's pierogi. So we're making pierogies tonight, but it's not There's caramelized onions. There's mashed potatoes. So we got some of the stuff happening.
So I'm trying
already.
to get the web. Of course, now today the fly cam is being problematic. I'm going to see if I can get the fly cam to work.
Flies can be like that, you know.
They can be.
And how are you? On week X-teen million of quarantine. What's going on? Those of you watching in Montreal, are you excited that they're opening pools soon? Isn't that great?
I'm going to see if I can get the fly cam to work
You
here.
want to
Hang
fly?
on,
You
so
want to fly over there?
be a little black for a system
Oh.
for a second.
Yeah, they are really dumb. They're dumb to be doing that. And then, you know, I was thinking about something today when I was at the dentist because that was another experience that
we're not going to have a fly cam today.
That's fine. That's fine. So when I was at the dentist today, I was talking to them about the fact that they're reopening the pools and I don't know, it's probably flour. We were talking about movie theaters.
Who? You and the dentist?
Me and the dentist. And the fact that, like, I don't know when the next time, and this makes me nervous as a live performer, but they're reopening the movies with no concessions, no games, no nothing. You can literally go into the movie.
Remember when there was, there's always been concessions, but remember when there was no games, when the movie theater was just, a movie theater? That was weird.
However, seeing as kids aren't really used to that, they're using this as like it's spring break, we're going to reopen the movies. But you can't get popcorn, you can't get a drink. And I was thinking about, like, when is the next time I am going to want to go and sit in a movie theater that clearly hasn't been sanitized? And I don't know.
But that's, or is it that the thing? Is it going to be a lot fewer movies because they're going to have to spend an hour and a half in between each completely sanitizing? We don't even know what they could do.
But then the question becomes, because I love questions. I do.
Apparently.
If they can't sell concessions and they can only show a fraction of the movies that they're showing, how is this profitable? So
I don't know.
You know.
But you digress.
I do.
Because we're not talking about
that. Well, Muppet movies. They had lots of movies, the Muppets. And I saw some of them.
Yes. So today we're going to talk about Muppets. You already talked about what you're doing from the pierogies from Muppets, the Muppets Most Wanted, the latest film.
Constantine. I watched it last night. It's funny.
And I thought today, because again, there's not like there's a lot of Muppet booze. So I thought I wanted to do two cocktails. Mm-hmm. I wanted one that looked like Kermit, so something very green.
Yes.
And I wanted something that looked like Gonzo, so very blue.
I went green today.
So I also for you, because I know one of your favorite things in the whole world is chocolate mint.
Yeah, I do love chocolate mint.
So I'm going to do what I'm calling the Kermit chocolate martini.
Kermit.
Now, there's a little addendum I'm going to put on this. It's not going to be as good as I hope, but if it's not, we may have a fix.
All right, I'm going to just grab a fork.
Well, okay. And the other thing that we're going to do today is the Gonzo martini. So we're doing two martinis.
The Gonzo?
The Gonzo.
Is it going to get me Gonzo?
It will. It's got a lot of booze in it. So we're doing a Gonzo martini, which is a very simple play on a vodka martini. Mm-hmm. So both drinks will be vodka based today.
Excellent.
So we don't do a lot of vodka.
I know, and it's my favorite alcohol.
I know it is. So I thought we'll do two of them.
Yes, great.
For you.
Great.
And not only that, but we have some great, we have Butterscotch Blondie is going to be here as well, doing some sexy eating for only a minute, though.
1 minute.
And music today.
Bye.
Well, I wanted something that sort of captured the spirit of the Muppets.
Okay.
And I used to produce a show with two of my lovely, lovely friends. And we're putting a number from the main three.
Excellent. This is exciting.
From one of our first Rat Pack shows.
Fabulous.
So it's going to be a packed show.
Packed show.
Big show. You got a lot of cooking going on.
Really big shoe.
You got a lot of cooking.
Really big shoe.
Really big show. Should we check on the people?
Let's check on the people.
All right, let's check on the people.
Hi, people.
Hey, people.
Vodka. This is the best show ever.
Vodka. Lots of vodka. Every time we have it, it makes the show better.
You look great, Audrey.
What is going on? We got people going in there. That's lovely. Just checking. Once again, we have a few different places you can watch the show, but we do recommend if you're going to watch it, you want the best experience, you want to be able to chat with us because we don't get every message. Yeah. If you're watching it on Divine Danny B's Facebook profile, if you're watching it on Periscope, if you're watching it on Twitter, if you're watching it you won't get the full experience. If you want the full experience,
that's why we reach out and touch you.
yeah, either watch it on the Stir Crazy Facebook page, or even better, watch it on the Stir Crazy YouTube page.
And if you're there and you haven't smashed that subscribe
I want to say,
button,
be careful of this. I think you said it a few times to smash the subscribe button, and people have gone and smashed it. Now, if you're subscribed, you will unsubscribe.
Yes, of course.
So
yes.
please,
Well, God, don't unsubscribe.
I think one time you did it, last time you mentioned that, we dropped 5 people.
We don't unsubscribe from the channel. So, and if you're accidentally one of those people, feel free to go back and smash that button.
The other place that's really good to watch is that gets all the full interaction is on Twitch, on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/StirCrazyShow.
Yes, we got people.
So all of those things. It's going to be a great, it's so much fun. I'm very excited about these drinks.
I'm excited to see if I'm using your mother's
My mother's recipe. You had some issues with the dough.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that.
But I'm excited to see how this turns out.
You do? How is everybody else? What else do we have in here? Oh, Audrey.
Mr.
Sean is there.
Mr. Portugal.
Oh, excellent. My mom. Hello, everybody. It's good that we want to thank everybody who joined us on Sunday.
Yeah,
when we did the Valentine's show. That was a lot of fun.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah, we ended up hanging out with some people for hours afterwards. It was kind of fun. Yeah. Felt like the end of the Wiggle Room again. It was Joe and Sean and Misty and Donna. Yeah. All right. Shall we make a drink?
You shall.
Let's make a drink.
Would you like your apron?
Oh,
I'm wearing an apron tonight because... Oh, thank you, Sean.
Let's go with there.
Thank you, Sean.
Yes, so we're going to do that. I have some...
How about apron?
Yes, we have a lot of ingredients for these drinks.
And for this food, so it's a heavy...
That's all right. We're going to put this on.
While you're doing that, I'm going to do shavuks.
You do your shavuks. Now, like I say, this is what I'm calling it the Kermit chocolate martini. So it's a mint chocolate martini. Now, here's one of the things that's a bit of a hitch for this. This is a simple vodka martini, a creamed vodka martini with a little bit of creme de menthe. You really want to make sure you have the green creme de menthe to get the Kermity green color. Now, the other thing you want to make sure is the other ingredient for this is some creme de cacao. You want to make sure you have the clear creme de cacao, which we do not. I could not find the clear creme de cacao to get the real green Kermity color that I want. So we're going to see what this gives us. If not, we have a little bit of green cacao. Might, but we have some green powder that we could maybe enhance the color with a little bit, if we want. So this is a creamed martini, which means it's got vodka as its base and some sweet from the mint and the chocolate. But it also has we're gonna add some half and half to it, so it's a cream-based martini.
Moiti.
Exactly. I don't think I put the ice up. That's what I missed today.
I can get the ice.
The other thing that we're gonna do for garnish on this, we're gonna garnish this with a few different things. But I'm gonna make some whipped cream.
Make ice.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I just realized we're gonna make ice.
Yes, gotcha.
So just grabbing the ice spot tray. I'll just do it. But we're gonna do. We're gonna make some whipped cream right in a shaker for ourselves today. So we're gonna start off.
Pardon me. Make a noise.
It's all right. We're gonna start off. I'm gonna bring up the ingredients here. So we're going with the Kermit. There we are. It's not a hard drink, but it's oh, you know what I should have?
What should you have?
I always have a shaker.
Oh, did I not leave one on the counter? I thought I left one on the counter.
Well, I put everything back last night. All right, so we're going to start off now. Since we don't really have a lot of cheap ingredients, we're just going to go right through. So, first things we want: 1 ounce of vodka. We're making 2, so we're going to do 2 pours.
I'll fill this later.
Okay. Thank you. To that, we are going to add half an ounce of the creme de cacao. Like I said, this is really much better when you have the clear, but we're going to see what we get. And
it could be swamp water.
Swamp water. Half an ounce of green creme de menthe. finally, to that, we're going to add 2 ounces of half and half. Or coffee creamer. Oh, it's actually kind of, we got a green color. Okay, it's good. We're good. We've got green. It looks shamrock shaky, which is what I'm hoping for. Shamrock shaky. All right. Now, before we do that, now we have that set aside. We're going to pour that in a minute. We're going to first quickly just make a little whipped cream for our garnish.
Do you want to get the ball for the... Oh, no, you've got the...
So what we're going to do is we're going to do this trick. So we're going to take a basic Hawthorne strainer. We are going to take the spring off. We're going to dump that right into our shaker cup. And we're going to pour... Oh, that's the wrong shaker cup.
Uh-oh.
Whoopsie doodle.
Oopie.
Pour that all into here. It's nicer when you can pour it into something that's a little closed off. I'm just rinsing that off. So we're just going to pour all of that. Pour that into there. There we are. And we're going to pour this. Just pour a little bit of, I don't want a ton. Pour a little bit of the whipped cream into there. And we're going to start shaking.
Oh, I should have waited to put on my apron. Now you cannot see the full grandiosity of my shake.
And you can start to hear it. It's now slowly right
Down.
And if we look at there, we
It's a
have
weep of cream.
beautiful whipped cream. So that's all ready to go for our garnish. So we are now going to shake our cocktail. So we're going to fill our cup up with
Giving you a
ice.
little heads up
Yep.
that in about 1 minute I have to come over here with some hot water.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to hold up until you're done.
All right. So we're going to just quickly. Just grab you a spoon while you're shaking over there.
No.
Oh, you did that little coffee spoon was fine through there.
I cleaned this before the show. She said from inside the dishwasher. Yes, Misty, it's regular vodka. It's Tito's, which is corn vodka.
Now, one of the things, one of the recipes that I looked at for this asked for whipped cream.
I'm just gonna, because I'm coming through with potatoes.
I know. I'm just gonna quickly grab me.
An éponge. Where is our éponge?
There.
Hold on.
The recipe that I started basing this on asked for whipped cream vodka, which I do not recommend. It's
so sweet.
But I was going to try, which I didn't get around to doing it. I was going to try doing it with a my own infused marshmallow vodka, which I think would be very good.
Tasty.
So we are going.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that in Quebec. And when I lived in England, every bar would infuse their
perfectly Kermity. Sorry, go on.
Fabulously Kermit. Every bar in the UK would make their own vodka infusions, you know, and we're not allowed to mess with the stuff that's in the bottle in Quebec, apparently. All right.
All right. So there we are. You come through. All right. And while you do that, I'm going to start garnishing. Now that is the beginning of our drink. So we're going to start garnishing. I want to grab a little bit of...
It's good I shellacked my face on. It all melts off.
Whipped cream. Take a little bit of whipped cream on that.
Why does this remind me of a dessert my mother used to make?
I don't know.
I don't know why.
We are going to take... Oh, I should... Before I do that... Oh, sorry.
What do you need?
I need
my fancy
this.
recipe.
And we got a little piece of chocolate bar here.
What are you doing?
And we are going to go...
If I've gained weight, it's because of this cocktail. This exact cocktail. Not from the last year of quarantine. This is going to be the thing that puts me over the edge.
This is diabetic-friendly chocolate, so you're not super sweet. And lastly, but not leastly,
du monde.
We're going to just garnish that.
Stunning.
Mint. Get that leaf perfect. There we are. There you are.
Lovely, thank you.
That is the Kermit chocolate martini.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Ooh, I like that.
You like that?
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like an after eight.
It is like an after eight.
But
It's
like-
very minty. Oh, it
It is
looks
very
perfect
minty.
too. And it's like, I don't, go for the overhead if you don't mind. Oh, yeah, well, you can see it.
Overhead.
How perfectly minty that is. It's lovely in color.
When you get that hit of whipped cream, because it cuts a little bit the mint, so it's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommended.
Yes, Kermit chocolate martini. That is delicious. I will get this stuff out of your way.
Creme de menthe is one of those things that I use it so very rarely, but it's always good to have in the house.
Well, I think what's funny is since we've been doing this show, we've built up quite an insane bar.
Mm-hmm.
But
2 of them actually.
yeah, 2 bars. One of the things that we had from the very beginning, you had was this bottle of creme de menthe. We've had since, I think, a bottle of creme de menthe and a bottle of ouzo. Neither of which we've touched for cocktails.
The ouzo, I don't know that we want to touch because if I'm thinking of what you're thinking of, that bottle came from my father while he was still alive, so that might be real.
Ouzo doesn't go bad.
Real
so.
intense.
Ouzo doesn't really go bad.
Okay, I'm just gonna bring the friends as soon as you're done making that noise. Bring the friendlies up to date as to what's happening.
Well,
over
they
here.
can hear you. I've noise canceled on stuff, so you're good.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So behind me, I've got some. Well, actually, in front of me, I have some some taters. There's taters.
How much potatoes do you have?
There's 5 russet taters.
This is the dough, right?
No, this is the filling.
Filling. Okay, so maybe bring up the filling recipe here.
This is
There
well,
you
we're
go.
not doing it yet.
We're not doing it.
I'm just because what I'm going to do.
Hey, Fab.
Hey, Fab. No, we don't have to do it right now. I mean, I could, but
What? No, do what you plan, baby.
okay.
I trust on you.
You trust on me?
I trust on
All
you.
right, I'm gonna let these cool a tiny bit, but I might jump in. That's my only. Let's say butter. Oh, it does say butter. I understand now. I'm like, why is that scheduled? And does that mean this? What I am going to do though is I am going to.
Hello.
I'm going to leave them there.
You leave them there.
We got potatoes going. I've got some caramelized onions done, and soon we'll put it all together in a fashion.
In a fashion.
Food. Yes.
Shall we ask a question quickly?
We could ask a question.
Let's ask a question because I had some great questions. I thought, and I think since we're dealing with thank you very much for putting that back. Since we're dealing with the Muppets, which many people love.
I love them.
You are a big fan of
I'm
the
a
Muppets.
huge Muppet. I was so disappointed today when I went into my t-shirt drawer and I was like, where's my Disco Grover shirt? And I'm like, oh, you got rid of that years ago. Where was this shirt? Got rid of that years ago. So I don't have any. I think I'm gonna have to buy myself a Muppets
Some Muppet
t-shirt.
stuff.
Yeah, just a shirt.
So I thought I'd ask the first question, simple, and the most basic question, exactly what you're expecting, everybody. Who was
Who's
your favorite Muppet from any show?
We're not limiting.
Not limiting it to the Muppet Show. If you want to do Fraggles, you want to do Sesame Street, you want to do Dark Crystal.
You're doing this to me on purpose because you know the more options you give, the harder this
I think
becomes.
it's always fun to make you have to
make me
choose
really
something when you have a lot of choices.
I'm an animal girl or Janice. Animal or Janice.
Animal Janice, that's very telling.
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep. I was called Miss Piggy too often when I was a kid, so I couldn't. I loved her when I was little.
I've never loved Miss Piggy as a character. I have to say, though, that my favorite character, the character I've always identified with, over everybody, Ernie.
Really?
Ernie. Ernie is my guy.
Ernie's your guy?
Ernie is just...
I think you know someone.
No, but Ernie I love because nothing phases Ernie. Ernie is bothered by nothing, and he lives with a guy who's bothered by everything.
Oh, it's like you and I. I am the Bert to your Ernie.
Hey, Bert. But I also loved his sweater.
Yes, it was a good sweater.
It's a good sweater. And I just thought, hey, healthy gay couple living in Sesame Street. I always liked it. I thought it was phenomenal. I love the character. I've always identified that. Me and my brother used to recreate them as kids. Used to recreate the little scenes with Bert and Ernie. Or me and my cousin Wade.
Let's see. What's everybody else saying?
What is everybody else saying over here? Let's take a quick gander. Hello, Diane. How are you? Miss Piggy from Ruby Rose. We don't have, Honkwalk doesn't have the Muppets in Sweden.
Oh.
But you have
But
the
you have the
internet
internet.
in Sweden. The Muppets are on the internet.
And as of tomorrow, on Disney Plus. I'm so excited.
I was experimenting yesterday, and I made a side dish. It was really good. What did you
What
make
did
it
you
on
make?
the side of? What was it on the side of? Everybody's very good in this one. I used to be. Audrey was obsessed with.
La Maison de Whimsy. Whimsy's house?
What's that?
I don't know if Whimsy's house was a Muppet.
A Muppet show? I've never heard of it.
What Holly Sugarpuss was voiced a character on Whimsy's house for a long time.
Really?
Yeah.
My mom is like Kermit, Animal from Joseph.
I'm shocked.
Otherwise, all the Kermit memes from Audrey. Tough. Ernie, always me as a kid. Yeah. Ernie's a good guy. Ernie's just
Solid dude.
It's hard to not get behind Ernie.
Cookie Monster.
What are the two aliens go? Yep.
That's what they're called. Those used to scare the
love
shit
them.
out of my brother when he was little. Like terrified him. Yep.
Diane loves Oscar Grouch. I love anybody who admits that Oscar Grouch has to be the person you love, because Oscar is a de facto the bad guy of Sesame Street, and I love that. I love it. It's like anybody who chooses the Joker.
You've got Danny's approval, Diane.
It's awesome.
I know that's why you were.
Statler and Waldorf and
Yes.
Beaker. Those are always great. Yeah, there's so many good characters.
Oh my god. One of the best moments in my recent history, not so recent because quarantine, was watching Gigi Marks. Mickey Michelle produced a Muppets, Jim Henson's burlesque show, and watching Gigi Marks with this massive
the
beaker head on, I nearly peed my pants watching, and I had to go on stage afterwards. I was dying, like makeup down my face, like dying. It was.
I think the whole thing is there's a lot of great. Let's go back to here.
Oh.
There's a lot of so many great characters in the Muppets. Like there's so many, and there's when you start breaking down all the different movies and all the different TV shows. I don't know if you ever remember one of the very, very first things early on of the Bremen Musicians, which was always a story I loved as a kid. They did a Muppets version of that. One of the very first, it was like for CBC, half an hour kind of thing. But there's so many things. There's a lot of weird small characters that I think never get, like, I always thought Harry Monster never got his worth.
Oh, Harry Monster.
But I also think Tiny had some of the best gags that existed because he was one of the few full-size puppets. So Tiny just got some of the greatest gags. Oops,
you're stepping on a thingy. But also, like, I remember growing up as a kid, I had two massive posters in the basement of our house. One was Pigs in Space, and one was, oh my God, why now?
Who?
Dr. Teeth.
Dr. Teeth and the
electric, oh my God, oh no. Oh no!
Electric Light Orchestra?
Not the Electric Light Orchestra. Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem.
The Electric Mayhem.
The Electric Mayhem.
Yeah.
So yeah, but like there was all these. I can't wait. Tomorrow night, if you're looking for me, I literally will be watching the Muppets because like I want to go back and watch Pigs in Space.
Does Mr. Garrison's Muppets in South Park count? No, they don't. They're puppets. Puppets and Muppets are two different things. Let's make this very clear.
It's like the Simpsons say.
What?
It's not quite a mop. It's not quite a puppet. It's a Muppet.
Yes. Well, that's like a Muppet has to come out of the Jim Henson
universe.
Workshop.
Mm-hmm.
That's the studio, right? Anything can be a puppet. Mr. Garrison, Mr. Hand is a puppet, but he's not a Muppet.
Oh my God, Rizzo. Yes, Rizzo. Or I even liked what was it?
Who's Rizzo?
The rat.
Oh, Rizzo. See, Rizzo came in late. And I will say,
There's also
there
that
comes
little
a point. I
crustacean
love
guy.
the Muppets up until the Muppet Show. I'm less enthused about them afterwards.
Well, I don't like what they've tried to do when they've tried to reboot it a few times because I think, and this is going to sound awful, they try to make it too kid-friendly. And the Muppets wasn't geared towards kids back in the day. The only thing that was about them that was geared towards kids was the fact that they were Muppets. But like, I don't know. I like the movies. Like I rewatched
some
the
of the
first
movies.
movie and the last movie last night. So
I like some of them. I love the first movie. I don't mind the last one. It's not bad. I like Muppets Take Manhattan.
Muppets Take Manhattan. And A Muppet Christmas Carol is so good.
I don't like Muppet Christmas Carol, but I also don't like goofy plays on Christmas Carol. I love Christmas Carol. It's a beautiful story.
So you don't like Scrooged?
Scrooge is fine. I'm not a big fan of it. It's fine. I'd rather watch Alistair Sim's Christmas Carol. It's a beautiful movie. It's a great book. I've done it 3 times.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So there we are. We're cooking. Or should we? What are we at now? What do I have? What's our schedule?
Your schedule is right where you
Oh
put
my
it.
golly!
Like many things in this house, it's exactly where you left
I
it
know,
last.
but I don't remember. You gotta assume I don't know where I left it. I don't know where I leave anything. It's amazing how I find you sometimes.
It's so funny because
Cookie
to
Monster.
me, like,
Cookie Monster is just a great character.
see, and it's so funny because Elmo as a character evolved when I was too old. Well, not too old, but when I wasn't watching Sesame Street like regularly to learn stuff and whatever. But my brother was of the Elmo generation.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot of the newer ones on Sesame Street because, surprise, I'm not spending a lot of time watching Sesame Street.
No.
But like, there's that shrimpy crustacean character that I think came out like 2 movies ago that he makes me laugh really hard. Anything with a weird borderline offensive accent really, really makes me laugh. I don't know why. It's part of my sense of humor that should probably be gone, but it really makes me laugh.
I think anything voiced by Jim Oz. I love all of Jim. So Frank Oz.
Frank Oz.
Jim Oz. Frank Oz's characters I've always loved. I guess in that same token, you could really consider Yoda a Muppet too.
Is it from the Oz?
Yeah,
From the Muppets.
Jim Henson's workshop built Muppets. The other one, which people tend to forget about a lot, which has probably some of his absolutely best puppets he's ever built, was a sci-fi series called Farscape, which was a live-action science fiction series that was shot in Australia. That was a co-production with the Jim Henson workshop, and so half of the characters are puppets, and some of the biggest puppets he's ever built. Yeah, there's a character the pilot who pilots the ship, who is about 14, 15 feet tall and about 30 feet wide, and never leaves the ship. It's a brilliant character.
I love when that happens. I was just gonna say
Farscape. Yeah, Farscape is amazing.
Oh god, the count! It's so funny because like everybody's popping up with names and stuff, and I always consider myself such a bigger Muppets fan than Sesame Street fan, even though they're still Muppets. But all of the names that are popping up, it's a very good drink. Trust me, I'm well aware. All the names that are coming up, I was like, oh, I love Sesame Street. Yeah. I really did as a kid. Like I really, really did.
Yeah. Oh, Sesame Street was one of those, and you can figure how many generations it influenced education. It drove the appeal of education since the late 60s, early 70s, early 70s. I think 71, 72 was the first Sesame Street.
So many of my friends have told me that the way they learned to speak English, either Francophone friends or I've got Polish friends also who've said that the way they learned to speak English was watching Sesame Street.
That's cool. I learned when I was a kid. I could speak Spanish pretty well because we used to get the Spanish one, so I knew a fair amount of Spanish that I would see on. Because it was funny because I don't know if you had it in the West. We had the Spanish and we had the French.
I remember having Spanish, but I used to spend a lot of time in the States as a kid, so it might have just been Cape Cod.
We would get the PBS out of Boston, but then Sesame Street would also show up on CBC. And that was Canadian Sesame Street that would have French in place of Spanish. All right.
Regarde, on apprend des affaires en ce moment.
Speaking of things that are puppet-like.
And sexy.
Sexy puppets, just like...
Butterscotch Blondie. Oh.
Yeah, I said Fonzie.
You said Fonzie, though, not Fozzie.
I know, Fonzie. It's the love child of Gonzo and Fozzie.
Fonzie?
Hey. I haven't thought about that until right now. Every week we love to bring you somebody who eats food for just a minute.
Just a minute.
But
shortest minute on the internet.
But when she does it, it is so sexy.
It's crazy.
You say to yourself, hey, self, that is a sexy.
See, I love borderline inappropriate offensive accents. All the people.
Speaking of borderline offensive accents...
Here's Butterscotch Blondie.
And a sexy woman.
Who eats food.
For 1 minute. right? It was the alliteration one, I guess.
Yes.
we previewed this to people on
Sunday.
on Sunday, but I thought the rest of you deserve to see it as well.
Plus, we don't like to make her work that hard.
No. She sent us two, and I thought, well, let's just use them.
Well, there you go.
Beautiful. I love that one, and had all the peas, and she was having penne pasta.
Penne pasta with peas?
Penne pasta sounds like a Muppet as well.
Penne pasta? All right.
Hey, what you doing, lady?
I am going to, the recipe for the dough is going to be a little bit different than what the ingredients are
I'm
going
going
to
to
show.
show them what we have. This is what you had. 2 eggs.
2 eggs.
3 cups of flour.
Yep.
2 cups of safflower.
That's for I was going to say for burning. That's for
burning.
frying the stuff.
And 2 cups of, okay. 2 cloves of garlic. A tablespoon of sour cream, a 1/4 cup of water, and extra water for moistening.
All right. So here's a story of a lovely lady named me. So last night I started doing this.
I'm going to let you talk to the people.
Yeah, I'm going to talk to the people. So I get all excited last night. I make the filling because like I'm putting off making the dough because if any of you saw my Facebook post last night, like I'm not la reine of dough du tout. So I get going and I make my little flour well. I beat my eggs together. I go to put the mixture in and it like legit just busted the banks. And next thing you know, it's like pouring down the counter. It's all over the floor. So disaster. But I also really hate wasting food. So Dan was like, maybe you could save it. Just throw another egg in there. Anyway, disaster. So that was like attempt number 1. Attempt number 2, where I used the recipe that just came up. I've got that dough in the fridge, and that's going to be the dough that we're going to roll out. I might be able to roll out a little bit of both just to see the difference. I made some pierogies this afternoon with the dough I made last night. It was fine. The dough is fine. I just had a meltdown. This apparently better. I think what was lacking in the last dough was the liquid to dry ingredient ratio. Was not. Ce n'était pas bon. So what we got here, thank you, Maureen. So my mother-in-law came to my rescue. A few of you came to my rescue. So that's not just like, thank you for anybody who answered the call yesterday and sent me dough recipes.
Who sent you dough recipes?
Mark Brennan sent me a dough recipe because
Mark
he
Brennan.
said, I know, and I miss Mark Brennan a lot. He said he was in Lodz in Poland a couple of years ago, staying with some friends. Yeah, he's real big in Japan too. So he sent me a recipe that's a little bit different. His also has 2 eggs. He only has 2 cups of flour. So there's a little bit of a difference there. Shane Grin, who used to run basically a Jewish deli, he sent me a recipe that, again, looks a little bit different than this. So who else sent me? Somebody else sent me a recipe as well. Oh, yes, please and thank you.
You want a little bit of chocolate
Just
liqueur?
a little chocolate liqueur to cure what ails me.
Just a little chocolate liqueur?
Well, I mean, all the freezing in my mouth is worn off, so...
Yeah, we weren't sure today if we're going to have a show.
No one wants me to be a super bitch, right? So I'll just keep drinking. Tasty. All right, so into the stand mixer bowl, I've got 3.5 cups of flour.
Here, let me go overhead here and see if you can see that.
Yeah.
Nope, I can't see that.
I'm not shaking the bowl, and I'm just going to add into it a teaspoon of salt. It's so funny. I have no problem with any of you watching me make anything except for dough. And yet I keep doughing this to myself. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a mix so I can get the salt into the flour. Un petit peu.
Un petit peu.
Un petit peu. We're just going to shake.
Audrey says, why do you keep doing this to yourself?
I told you I was actually...
Because we're a cooking show. And we got to...
And I've got to learn. The truth of the matter is, as much as I bitch and complain, the only way, apparently, according to everyone in the world other than me, to get good at something is to try doing it more than 2 times. Yeah. So I'm going to try
And in all fairness, you have done it more than 2 times, and you pretty much have always been successful.
It just always feels like a disaster in my head.
I know, but I think, in all fairness, I think you put that on the things that aren't a disaster at all. I think you're quite good at everything you're doing. It just gets unnerving sometimes.
Thanks, husband.
You're welcome, wife. Now what?
Mother-in-law, if I'm doing something wrong, I'm having a terrible freaking panic that I've forgotten something.
creme de menthe?
Milk, no creme de menthe. Eggs,
okay.
milk, salt, flour. I
That's
think
garlic.
that's it. Maureen, if you're still watching, you let me know if I am buggering this terribly. Into this bowl, dose eggs.
No, you're fine. I'm watching it. Don't worry. Dose eggs. So
Dose
2 eggs.
1 cup of milk.
1 cup of milk goes right in there. Oh my God! With this, I suddenly have a desire for a random, unexpected ice cream.
Aw, sorry.
So now you're just going
I'm
to
gonna
let it.
I'm putting the stand mixer on low just to let it incorporate a bit because I also am famous for shutting the top, hitting the button, and the flour, which is why I'm wearing an apron tonight, the flour going legit all over me, all over the floor. Actually, when we did some of the Christmas deliveries, I was still covered in flour. I think Donata got me in full.
Yeah, full flour.
Fully floured. Yeah.
There you go.
There we go.
It's
Now we're making some moves. Now at the end of the see,
okay, but
Mama
it needs
got
to
too.
do
I
that. It
know,
needs
but
to
Mama
move
got
it.
too excited.
What we got to do is we'll buy you the one that has the lip.
The lips. Here, I'll just do this.
Or you can just do this.
I could do a whole bunch of shit, but I'm
Just hold this here. Here. I'll fix it. Perfect. Continue to do your show.
This towel doesn't smell nice, and you just put it in my mouth. This is so gross. So we're just gonna let this go. I've got the dough hook on here, and also friendlies. We've talked about this
My mom
before.
said that's right.
Yay! Thanks, Maureen. My savior.
So once your dough is starting to pull together,
I'm gonna let it pull together a little bit longer than this, because there's only I haven't worked out in a long time. There's only so much kneading I can do, really. So I'd like it to at least incorporate. Now, friends, I try not to use, and you're gonna go bullshit, Elle, but I try not to use the stand mixer as much as possible on the show because I know that not everybody has a stand mixer. I'm gonna assume that with enough elbow grease, you could probably get this done.
can I ask you a question then about that?
Yeah, I said, but I'm assuming. So I don't.
Yes,
and
but-
again, the place where I fall short very often is baking. So
No, but I understand why you're saying that not everybody has a stand mixer, so maybe using a stand mixer might seem unfair. But what about the fact that we always use the air fryer?
you know what? I don't always use the air fryer. 90% of the first time I actually used the air
I
fryer
find
was
that
to compare frying and air frying. So everything that I do in the air fryer can be fried Normally. All right. This is very raggedy. This doesn't look.
We'll pull it up.
I'm gonna pull it up. It's still Ma.
Do you okay?
Ma. No, I don't. Is it supposed to form one big huge ball? Should I keep? That needs more time. That needs definitely more time. Boop. Boop. All right. Let's talk about something else. Actually, what I'm going to do. In the meantime,
Can I give you one thing that I've done know before?
Yeah.
Is a little bit higher because it gets a little bit more agitation and things will. Not quite that. I always go medium, like.
don't party. It's flying everywhere, man.
Oh, don't party.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm wrong.
It's doing its thing. A watch pot never boils, apparently.
A wash pot?
A watched.
A watchtower?
A watched pot.
Watchtower always gets a Jehovah's Witness.
Ding!
There.
Funny Jehovah jokes
This is the best.
that I now understand. Before you, I never would have understood that joke.
It's all right. You want to do some filling while that's going, and I will keep an eye on that for you?
Sure. I'm
You
just
want
going
to
to
pause
slide.
it? Why
Hold on.
don't you stop it for a second?
I'll stop it. I'm going to just slide this guy this way and turn him back on. Look how easy peasy lemon squeezy that was.
All right. Let me go back to the front, and we're just bring that just down a little bit.
All right, friendlies. Here's what's happening right now, and I will eventually put this back on the stove because the pot's still hot-ish. Into this pot, we're putting some butter.
Butter.
I
Here,
think
no.
the recipe
Get that out of
calls.
the way so we can see we use butter.
You're fine. It's butter. Ta-da! Regardez, c'est du beurre. Where did I put la?
Oh, so apparently the stand mixer creates electrical interference. Now, I think you're just getting noise, and I do have some noise cancellation out on the channel, or on the audio. So you might be getting
We're almost done with
going
this.
in and out as
Almost
it's trying
done.
to adjust.
Yeah, apparently the camera was shaking too, but I think that was more that the... All right, we're going to leave that guy alone for a second. I'm obsessed with this ricer. If you don't have a ricer,
It's a great
for your
ricer.
mashed
This is the one I
potatoes,
the new one I got.
What are you doing?
The Joseph one.
Joseph.
Boom.
Check this out.
Well, most of them you go this way.
I know, and that's why I love this one, because it's like...
This one you can use arm strength versus just hand strength. And I love it.
And we go like this again, and we go, what? Like that.
It's a great ricer.
It's a great ricer. It was actually probably one of the best pandemic purchases for us. Because it's just so much easier than mashing with a traditional potato masher, I find.
I'm not sure why there'd be interference. He said he's determined that there's interference.
Are you determined? How determined are you?
I don't know if it...
To qualify your determination, I'm curious.
But this could be an interesting part of the Muppet shows where we discuss the concept of KitchenAid stand mixers and interference for 20 minutes.
It could be. It's Joseph is the brand of this.
Joseph is excellent. A lot of their stuff is really good, though I don't like that bowl set.
This the bowl set?
I find the bowl set's a little... I mean, it's a good bowl set, but I find it's the measuring spoon and the cups I'm not crazy about.
But I also find that it looks great and it's all in principle supposed to like nest into itself, but it don't.
It'll never do that.
It don't really.
It does it once. You pull it out, it's that way. You'll never have it that way.
Could you do me one petit service?
Of course. What would you like?
I would like, if possible, some more milk because I put the milk away.
You put the milk away.
You see my huge. You see my huge biceps? Do you see that?
Milk or cream?
No, you didn't.
Half and half here?
No, milk is fine.
No.
Diabloe smash!
I'll get that out of your way, El Diablo.
All right. Well, thank you, Divine Daddy.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Yeah, apparently it was crackling when the mixer was going. I think that maybe that's our tech trying to correct itself, if that makes any sense. All right. So, my friends. Patate. Beurre. On ajoute. For those of you watching in other places other than Montreal, we add to this. I have 4 cloves of garlic. Ooh. Oh yeah.
4 cloves of garlic in your potatoes is never a bad idea.
And
yes.
Right back here. When the show opened, I was caramelizing about a cup of onions.
Oh, here we go. Over head on that one. That was a good one. Here we are.
Cup of onions and a little bit of butter, a little bit of oil.
Slow caramelization.
Took about half an hour-ish. So we got that going. Giddy up. Now, I have salt here. I would like some pepper. I'm going to eyeball this. I'm not sure what the recipe says because... No, I think it said a...
Oh, you're getting the
might have said a
recipe?
quarter
Get the
cup.
recipe up again here. Hang on, I got it.
Some pepper in there. My Cambodian...
Filling. We're going with the pierogi filling. Here we are.
Cambodian
pepper. About a quarter cup.
And all of the salt because...
Lots of salt.
Can I have a... No, I got this, actually. And it's got all the onions on it already, so... So we're just going to give this a little stir-ski. Combine all of this.
This is a beautiful filling. We already had some of this. It's delicious tasting, but...
Anybody who's getting food delivered tomorrow, we can add pierogies. Just saying, because God knows we're going to have en masse pierogies. You want to grab a little tasting... Oh, actually, I got a little tasting vessel down here.
Oh, yeah, one right here.
Okay, I got 2.
Well, look at that.
I made art. I made art, but I can't pull them apart. Now I'm a poet. Holy shit.
And didn't even know that fact.
I was unaware.
I was unaware that I was a poet. I wish I could make that rhyme.
All right. Putting this away. Not eating any more of that.
Yeah, that's even good.
This is tasty. Now, if you're not such a garlicky person, don't start with 4 cloves. Start with 3.
Yeah.
You can always add. On peut jamais enlever.
But so, I also suggest try it with the 4 cloves once because that extra bit of garlic really does.
Well, especially because the dough...
round out the flavor, make it so good.
The dough is not, and this is not in any way a bad thing, but the dough is not. The dough I made yesterday had actual cloves chopped of garlic in the dough, which I thought was really weird, but I did it because that's what I told me to do.
It.
You're okay to go a little bit bolder or whatever with your flavors in the filling because your dough is not really super flavorful. It's doughy.
Yeah. I also think that
This guy's on here.
the garlic in the dough is interesting because you're going to boil that first.
Yeah.
And then you're going to... Here, do you want me to move this out of the way?
If you could, yeah, and actually, you know what I did?
What?
Silly wife. Oh,
You put the flour away?
that was cute.
You did it.
You almost stabbed me.
I don't have the knife.
And the whole people saw it.
I didn't have the knife. How did I stab you? I was holding a cutting board.
I know, when you pulled the cutting board out, the knife spun around.
What do you need?
A little bit of flour, please. Yeah. All right, friends, how's it going? What's going on? Talk to me. Making dough. I am not going to have a meltdown.
Oh, that was a mouthful of garlic I just put in my mouth.
I did the same thing.
Yeah. I think I may have put the same mouthful.
Alrighty, tidy.
All right, let's take a look at you making the dough, shall we? Here we go. Here we go with your dough.
Here I go with my dough. I'm just going to work it a little bit. I probably could have stood to leave it in the mixer for a little bit longer. Maureen, don't judge me. I'm a very good wife to your husband.
Stop worrying what everybody else thinks about you.
I'm worried
Why?
about my dough.
Why? Because in the end run, even if this doesn't work, we get one that works perfectly.
I know,
well
but what if people stop being my friend because I make bad dough?
they never were your friend in the first place.
I'm kidding. I don't think.
I think you have to cheat. If you gotta learn that if you love something,
set it free.
Set it on fire.
Oh no! If it comes back, set it on fire.
If it comes back, kill it. It's a zombie.
I love how you and I like two very different ways with that. I always tell myself to take off my rings before I start this.
Look at this! Look at this, gorgeous.
It's a bit. I think because it's dry in here.
You want a little bit more water in there?
Yeah, it's a bit dry. It's very dry. Anybody else in Montreal find it's like insanely dry? Oh, look at that! It's getting there. Yeah, just needed to put it. Oh, no, that's fine.
You might be warm. Are you not warm?
I'm not warm.
You're not warm.
I'm not warm.
I'm not warm.
I'm fine. I'm not so warm.
Stop making me cold. I'm not warm.
So yeah, we're getting this going. I'm just gonna keep kneading it for a minute or two. Show Sean Colton the citrus press you should buy.
You want the citrus press?
Well, he wants one, so I think you should show him which one to buy.
Well, again, depends what you want for a citrus press. If you want, this is a good. I think the Joseph and Joseph. This is the Chefin. The Chefin.
That's a lime only.
Huh?
That's lime only.
I know. Let me finish what I'm saying. This is if you don't have strong hands.
Mm-hmm.
This is excellent. And I like it a lot. But I still just go to the basic. It's a nice, simple. It can do limes. It can do lemons.
The only complaint I have about that, it's super convenient because it does both the limes and the lemons. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you get these monster lemons at the store. They don't like to sit in there.
You cut those in half. Put a quarter lemon in there. It's fine.
Huh. I never thought to only put a quarter lemon in the citrus press.
That's how you get your oranges in there as well. Cut the oranges in quarters. Boom, you could do an orange. We did it last 2 weeks ago when we did. I did a cocktail that required some orange juice. Yeah.
All right, maybe I lied. Maybe I'm getting a little warm.
Look at this. Look at this dough. It's beautiful.
What happened, guys?
You made a beautiful dough.
I thank you, Maureen, for your help on this. I didn't have to have a meltdown.
You never do.
Oh, yes.
No, you don't. You're like me. You don't have to. Sometimes it's just fun to do it.
Oh, no. When I was making the tortilla dough, I had a full-on...
No, I'm not saying you don't have to. You could have a meltdown. Uh-huh. Sometimes just enjoy it.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to...
Not right now! Sorry.
And because I'm relying so heavily on my mother-in-law tonight, would you let it rest? Would you cover it? Like I was going to saran it. Should I saran it, or does it need like a damp kitchen towel? What do you say?
Is there any yeast in it?
No.
Then probably you don't need to. Because usually you only do that because it's going to get bigger if you put saran cling film too tight to it. So I would just oil it and put some cling film on it.
Oh, oil you!
Oh, please do. I love that.
I don't even think it needs oil. But
Thanks, Dan. We no longer have speakers or ears. Well, you didn't need them. I got a limiter on here. You're fine. What are we drinking?
I love it when the boys talk tech.
What are we drinking? Right now, we're drinking just a little bit of creme de cacao. But the first cocktail we made earlier today was the Kermit
Martini.
Kermit chocolate martini. So it's a mint chocolate martini. It was delicious.
This guy's just going to hang it over here.
He is he?
He is.
Look at this time. You're so bang on time.
I am actually quite surprised.
I cannot believe how perfect. In fact, you are 3 minutes ahead of schedule.
Can I tell you a truth? Because you can't see, I literally just lost my strapless so badly that my boobs were actually out on top of the bra.
Oh, nice.
Wild.
I have the same problem with my boobs.
I know.
They're on top of your bra. I don't know how that happened, but hey, that's okay.
Your boobs can go wherever they want.
I sound like you say creme de cacao. No, it's not. It's creme de cacao.
Cacao.
Creme de cacao? That's the shits. Let it rest, cling film.
I know, I saw. Thanks, Ma.
So that's fantastic. I'm very excited. We tried these out earlier, and the filling is spectacular. But one of the things that makes I'm kind of partial. This does make me think a little bit of my grandmother
And her Vireniki?
But
But that's the recipe that I just made.
That's the
the dough recipe, yeah.
That's what I mean. That's my grandmother. For those of you who don't know, I grew up on my father's side. My mother, good old Brit, but on my father's side, Mennonite German. And my grandmother, who was a fine cook.
Fine as in like she was a fine cook?
She was fine. Fine.
Isn't it
but
funny how
until
that works both ways?
I know. Until she would make Mennonite food. And Mennonite food, if you've never had it, is spectacular. It's warm and rich, and well, not rich, I would say, but it's warm and inviting. It's good, hearty food. Mm-hmm. And my grandmother would have a day where she would make Varenike. And Varenike are like a German Mennonite version of pierogi, but instead of potato, you use cottage cheese. And I just remember she would have tables of them. Mm-hmm. And you would get the Varenike with the generally cottage cheese and onion or cottage cheese and something else. And then there'd be a sauce on it, which was just basically butter and heavy cream. Mm-hmm. It was this white, so the whole thing had zero color at all. It was white sauce on white food filled with white fillings.
Oh my God!
But dear Lord, it was white good.
That is so funny, because right away I thought about years ago. I met an actress we went out for dinner. I was like met up with a group of people who were producing a TV show and whatever. We go for dinner, and this girl goes, "No, I only eat white food." And that was it. No vegetables. No, she was tiny, skinny as whatever. So I was like, wait a minute, how does this work? Like mayo is white. White rice is white.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of white. So when you figure, if you're going to choose a color, if you're going to be on a diet, choose the color. There's a lot less food. Clear.
Cream, though? Cream, rice, like all of those things.
Sure, but again, if you want to eat cream and rice.
I don't think you're going to lose so much weight.
Yeah, but again, how much cream and rice are you going to eat?
Well, as much as would require for a daily intake of...
No, you're not, because you're going to get sick of it. You're going to have, I think there's a variety of things. You can have cauliflower. You can have, true, cauliflower. There's a lot of there's a variety of things you can have out there, but I think that's an interesting diet approach.
It just stuck with me since, and this is like...
I kind of like it.
Years and years ago. No, I'm sorry, I only eat white food. And I was like...
Now, that could also mean she's just racist.
No, we were in a French restaurant, so...
Well, she's racist.
Those peeps are white. Well, not all the French are white, but, French cuisine is traditionally, I'd say, a white food.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Maybe she was just straight up racist.
Oh, now I don't know.
Aha! Speaking of straight up racists, none of the people on the next segment are.
Good.
Because you're married to one of them.
I think...
yeah, we're doing music.
We're doing music?
Music!
Musica!
So we're here.
Yeah, I saw it.
So, back in the before times, when we were all still making shows, we worked at a lovely little place called the Wiggle Room. Mm-hmm. where we put on burlesque shows. And after a while, I found that we had got such a great team of people around us.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I love old variety shows.
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite things. And that's one of the reasons why I love the Muppet Show. And I thought I wanted to create something like that environment of the Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the real world, one of the places that is quintessential was Rat Pack era burlesque.
Yeah.
So I wanted to recreate the Summit series.
Okay.
And what I was hoping to do is to have burlesque dancers go out and dance, but then have singers, phenomenal, singers sing each song.
Yes.
So I got two of my favorite people, Pinot Noir and Shy Shy Shuli.
Yeah.
And the three of us formed the main three, and we created this show. Started off as Rat Pack Burlesque, and then became the different main three shows. You were in them, I'm telling you, like you don't know this.
I was in them. They don't know that.
So we did these shows, and they were so much fun. We would have a stage where people would do the burlesque, but then we'd have a little stage off the side where every song was sung live. And in between every second or third number, Pino and Shy Shy and I would do a trio number.
Yes.
And this song we're going to see is the song that opened up our first show.
Oh, I'm excited.
Which is, you choreographed it for us.
Well,
Stop denying it. You did it.
it's not that just because there's really not a lot of choreo.
Well, there's not, but there's the choreo that's in there. You did it.
Oh, yes, I did that.
I don't know why you're in such denial about it.
I did that.
Did I do that?
I did it.
I did that. So, kiss to you, Sabri.
I think he wants us to kiss. But,
Okay. Oh.
we're married, we're boring.
Stop it. Next, we'll do it. So, in this case, this is the main three.
Yep.
Our opening number.
Yep.
Which is all about a little bit of style.
Woohoo!
Pinot Noir! Oh, what is, hang on. What is this?
What are you wearing?
Are you climbing through the Alps? What is this? Are you going climbing through the Alps? What is happening?
I didn't know Fern was back in school.
What is it? Did you rob a dwarf? What's going on?
Allez. Look, you called me up.
Ouais.
You bring me all the way from Paris.
Ouais.
Au moins le 21e arrondissement de Paris, le plateau, Mont-Royal.
Ouais.
And I come all the way from Métro Laurier, là, and and you say to me, Pinot, we need you to represent, the classic Las Vegas.
Yes.
I say, it's perfect, American, ugly, vulgar, awful,
This is why nobody likes the French.
you
not
like
the
our-
French,
This
but
is not
Parisians.
Vegas.
We can all agree
This
on
is not
Parisians.
Vegas.
No, this is like Mad Men, but like Midsummer Night's
No, this is no. I literally planted some roses near him earlier this evening. No, Pinot, this is not right. This is not. No, you need to have a modicum of what is it? Elegance, maybe.
Debonair.
I can't say it properly. I know. Perhaps we could
Perhaps
just
is the word
sing
for
it
it.
properly.
Ah, bien.
Oh,
Mr.
Wow, that's a good one. Oh, that's very good. Your
I
introduction
did that
was
so perfectly.
on point. Very good.
Now let me explain. Some people get dressed because they like to get dressed.
I like to get dressed.
But you just get dressed to get dressed.
This is technically
it's
correct.
only a hunch, but I bet you a bunch.
I agree.
He wears suspenders, a belt, and a vest.
Yep.
I have a lot to hold up.
From the tip of your toes to your head, you look like an unmade bed.
Well, that's the best kind.
You've either got or you haven't got style.
If you've got it, just stand out a mile.
A flower's not a flower if it's wilted.
A hat's not a hat till it's tilted. You've either got or you haven't got class.
how it draws the applause of the masses.
And you wear lapels like the
Swellest of swells, you can pass any mirror and smile. You've either got or you haven't got.
God, or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got style. Now get out of here and go get some style.
Time to get some.
You've either got or you haven't got style. How it goes on for miles. With mother of pearl kind of bottoms.
He looks like the Astors and Hattons. You've either got or you haven't got.
Got or you haven't got class.
How it draws the applause of the
Draws the applause of the masses. When you wear lapels like the swellest of swells, you can pass any mirror and smile. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the law. You haven't got style. You haven't got style.
Style and charm seem to go arm in
Seem to go on and on.
A flower's not a flower if it's wilted. You're so right. A hat's not a hat till it's tilted.
Either got or you haven't got style.
You haven't got style.
If you got it, you stand out.
But it is stand out of when you wear those duds with the wild kind of studs. Watch the dolls lining up single file.
You've either got or you haven't got.
I'm Danny D. God, oh, you
Mr.
haven't
Pinot Noir.
got. God, oh, you haven't got. God, oh, you haven't got.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, Pinot Noir, shy, shy, shy. What?
Those are some serious panties.
Serious
I
panties.
miss those panties. Those are some fancy panties. You
You
can put them on later if you want. I'm down.
Ah,
I'm down to clown with
all
your
right.
panties.
I don't wear panties anymore. Now I go Fruit of the Loom. I don't know. Is that a thing?
Sure, if you want
Thing?
to.
Is that a? Can you use fruit of the loom as a verb?
You threw the
Fruit of the loom. Fruit of the loom as a goob. Fruit of the firm as a flap.
No.
All right. All right. So that is, of course, Shy Shuli, Pinot Noir, two of the most lovely people in the world.
And filmed by
Filmed by
none other than
incredible
Sean Colton.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
it's a family
Choreographed by you?
affair. Oh, it's
Fantastic.
choreographed. It was a hat pass.
We had pass. We did the whole marching, and we did the back and forth, and we did the hand things.
Okay, marching in
This is
hand.
when you figure who you're dealing with, that's pretty big choreography. You know.
All right. Yes, I choreographed that magnum opus. Then
All right. Are we gonna make some pierogies?
we are.
Are you sure?
I am. I'm just trying to figure out. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the dough I made last night.
All right.
I'm going to call it your mom's dough. Let that rest a little bit longer. I am also. So this is yesterday's dough. It actually, for all of my
can't see that
catastrophizing,
there.
I know.
There it is.
But for all of my catastrophizing, it's
a
not.
good dough.
It's not terrible.
Tastes very good.
Tastes fine. It's just kind of a bitch to work with. There's always a song.
All right. You need a rolling pin here?
A rolling pin would be nice. And as per your very smart suggestion, I think I'm only going to go with like a that size.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a whole bunch of pierogies right
Well,
away.
not right away, especially because we've got enough dough to make, I don't know how many
We got a lot of pierogies. We
Oh,
got,
I was going to take that out of the fridge at 4 o'clock. That's what I was going to do.
yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
do that.
Slam!
So, and with these pierogies, because there's a lot of different ways you can make pierogies,
Mm-hmm.
but the traditional way is boiled with a fry at the end.
Yep, and that's what we're going to do.
We're gonna do. All right.
So I'm just going to get started here
All right. So I'm gonna go overhead here so people can see you roll.
with my ginormous muscle and my man hands. I swear to you, I'm sorry, I'm taking a pause for a
Go ahead
second.
and roll while you-
roll.
I'll
I'm
roll
taking
for
this
you do
bra
that.
off because it might as well just be on the floor anyway. I know. You know what?
Mhm.
You can tell I'm not a burlesque dancer anymore because I just left the camera to go take my bra off.
I
Who
know.
have I become? I'm topless now.
Oh, nice. Me too. I am all legs. Got a lot of flour on here.
Yeah, I did. Well, I didn't.
Get rid of some of this flour here. No. All right.
Thank you, muscles.
Oh, that's no problem. I love to roll. I think it's very cathartic. If you are annoyed at your day, you are frustrated by anything,
You should just roll.
roll
I often
some
do, actually,
dough.
But it's not dough.
Not that. I find. I think there's something really just if you want to get rid of your
Angst?
gunk for the day, roll some dough.
Alrighty.
There should be a shirt. You should get that.
Roll some dough.
Roll some dough. Like Elle Diabloe. Oh. Oh.
I am Elle. Yeah.
Dough. Well, to me, you're Elle Diabloe with an OW.
Oh. So sweet.
I know.
So nice.
All right.
So lovely.
I've defined any D with an unalingus.
Oh, the huge manatees. Sean Colton, the huge manatees.
How thin do we want this?
We want this.
Very thin.
If you're talking in terms of like people who know things, they'll
Yeah.
tell you about a 1/16 of an inch.
Yeah.
But then when I look at stuff, I'm like, I don't know what 1/16 of an inch looks like. It's what you're looking for. You got to figure we're filling it, right? So it can't be super stodge and it can't be too thick. So
You want to be able to sort of see through it a little bit.
not so much.
No?
Not yet. No.
Well, you want to, when I
Oh,
say
no.
when you hold it up, you want to be able to see light come through.
Okay, yeah. But
Not
you don't
not
know
to
what
see.
it's herring.
You don't want to. You want to be able to see light coming through
This
it.
is super kind of you to help me roll my dough.
I love rolling dough.
I know,
told you
but-
that earlier. You don't believe me.
I know, but you've got cocktails on the go and all sorts of stuff, and you're
I
even
know.
taking the time out to roll your wife's dough.
Well,
Break me off.
hey, your
Show me
card's
what
right.
you got.
I'll always roll your dough.
Grrr. Alrighty, that looks good. Because we're starting to. Yeah, it's-
No, that's white.
it's
That's flour. I can see it. It's actually a really nice dough. It's very pliable. It's
Look what I did, guys. For all of my bitching on the
I
social
still think I
media.
can go a little bit
Okay,
thinner. I can go a little bit
I
thinner.
just don't
now.
want it to get super.
No, it won't. It's still not quite there.
Okay.
It's very elasticy dough, I will say. So you get a lot of pullback. So you can see when I roll it out, it springs back quite a bit. So you're just trying to get rid of that.
I'm very curious to see just the difference in how it handles and from your mom's dough. Dro.
My mom's dro.
Your mom's dro.
I believe it's
Dro?
drow, and that's an evil elf.
Yes. That.
Speaking of Muppets,
Yes. That.
I think
right.
that's a good dough right
I
there.
think that is good. Let's do. Let's get
We're
one of
doing
these guys.
3-inch rounds.
This is 3 inches. This cutter.
Mm-hmm. Transparent dough. That was my cop show in the 80s.
What?
Transparent and dough. I was dough.
Who? But who was the transparent?
Kylie Jenner.
Clearly, this cop show didn't happen too long ago.
No, it was very recent. It was a very recent 80s cop show. So there we go. We're making some dough rounds. Perfect little circles.
That's me with my perfect circles.
You looking very good, my angel.
Oh, thank you. I just actually shouldn't have
Good.
cut that off so fast. And so I think right now, for the purposes of right now, we're going to do 6 of these. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
You can get 2 more in there.
7. Come on. Boop. This is
Yeah, bang on.
Nah-ish.
I can roll it. Let me roll it.
There you go. So, I'm going to work with this. I'm going to put this dough back in the fridge for now.
Save your scrap, though. You put your scrap back in there.
Look at the difference in that color, eh?
Of course.
I know, but I'm just making cooking observations on our cooking show.
Well, and it's one of the things, I don't know if you said it to me when we were in the song or not, but you were saying before that should have come out to room temperature.
Yeah.
That would have helped a little bit. So
It would have. So in the event that we want to make more of these later, I'll leave some of those out.
helping.
Thank you.
I love pierogies and bread so
helping?
much. I love helping. I'm a big helper.
You are. So I'm now going to take my little teaspoon here.
You take your little teaspoon. I'm going to take a little. Just
You take a walk
here
over there.
Make sure that I adjust all the algorithms and
Yes, make sure your algorithms
censor all of the
are adjusted.
censurables.
So we're using like a teaspoon. You guys will see if it's too much, it won't close properly, and you don't want them to burst their seams.
You want them to be sealed.
They have to seal in order to boil and not ooze out potato. So
Who's that potato was my nickname in high school.
in high school, yes, I know. I saw it in your yearbook.
You don't want to know why. It was not cool.
All right, just for funski, because I think that one is a little bit overloaded, and I want to test my own hypotenuse here. Yep. Yeah, that one's got a little bit too much. You see what's happening there?
Yeah.
So we're just going to snoop. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them.
But I also was agreeing.
Oh, yes.
Because you couldn't hear them say it.
Oh, yes. Yep.
I was their voice.
So look, it's like a little smile. Hello.
Do you like to seal it? And I don't know, like I know before when we were doing it, we were just crimping it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you seal it with like water or egg or anything?
No,
like
I'm just crimping it like this. If somebody of Ashkenazi or Polish or Russian descent wants to correct me, feel free. I am open to learn more things.
Like at one time, I would put water on the corners.
One time, yes. I don't know why I decided not to do that.
It worked fine before, I will say. I'm not saying this. I'm just curious.
And again, just a little. I got too eager there.
You got a lot of tater going on.
I
there?
just love taters.
Well, this is what this thing is.
I'm a tatery.
How many pierogies do you think this recipe made?
It's gonna make a lot, and
I love when you said that. I was looking more for something quantifiable.
I don't know. I'm sure if I went back to the recipe, it's written there a lot because
I would say probably in the neighborhood of about 50 or 60 pierogies.
Possibly says I, who will end up rolling them out. And oh, maybe you'll help me because you like to roll and help.
I love to roll.
See,
that's a lot of things in there. If you figure you're putting what about? That's half a teaspoon.
A teaspoon. And there's 5 potatoes in there. So the other thing you could do with this, which I'm really excited to do too, is to take that potato filling, stick it in your waffle iron, and make pierogi filling waffles. I will be doing that.
Sean just said I'm not really saying what he's thinking though. Oh. Sorry. Blah, 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 blah.
Such a schmuck. That was of all, like, that was really your best impersonation of Sean?
No, that was what he was thinking.
Oh, okay.
I was just doing what Sean thinks. This was my best impersonation
of Sean's thoughts. Okay, gotcha. J'ai aucune idée qu'est-ce qui se passe, mes amis. All right.
Which is good, because the first thing I did on the show was bilingual.
There we go. We got 3 more of these little puppies to go. Yeah, this is a lot of filling, so like this could, if I didn't have other things to do tomorrow, this might be my day tomorrow, is just rolling and filling pierogies.
Misty was saying you could stick this in the air fryer and make hash browns out of the dough. If you want to do something spectacular, which you did the other day, you don't. You stick it in a waffle.
That's what I just said.
Oh, did you say that?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I was reading this, so that was what inspired me.
Yeah. If you know what else, Misty, you could do with this potato filling? You could roll it into balls.
Croquettes.
You could stick it in the freezer till your balls get a little bit chilly. And then you do. Oop, this guy doesn't want to stick because he got too wet.
Not upset. He'll get dry. He'll get his own.
I lost my train of thought. Make balls.
You got that.
Flour them, egg them, panko them, fry them. Little potato balls. Delicious.
Potato balls are very good.
Sorry.
But the croquette, I would call that croquettes.
Well, I think if you flatten it, it's a croquette. If
I
you
think
keep
it's
it in a ball
croquette is
format,
more like, to me, croquette is like tater tots shape, like cylinder with a round top.
That's a croquette.
That's a croquette.
And I was always taught that croquette was more like a crab cake style.
But again, think about a crab cake. It's a cylinder with a round top, but it's just a flatter cylinder.
But that's
Because I've also had crab croquettes, which are the crab
Ballier.
croquette is a different thing. It's more tater tot shape. What do you think? Croquette, is it tater tot shape or is it like patty shaped? We want to hear what you have to say.
peppermint patty or
I don't know what shape is she? Green?
she's green shaped.
Green shaped. Tater tot. Misty says tater tot.
Okay. What do I know? I'm just the cooking lady.
Well, this is why we're helping you.
All right.
You and your potato balls.
So we've got leave my potato balls out.
Leave
of
my
this.
potato balls off the table here, I say.
So we've got these guys. Bada bing, bada bang, bada boomski. I've got the water. It's when it's not boiling yet, but it's getting there.
That one is a little dead, so I want to fix that one, and I will. There we are.
No, because the dough got wet. So
Oh, the dough got wet?
I'm just turning him over. He's not pretty.
We can show what happens if you don't do it right. There's a good example of a bad example.
Bad. Well, if you can't be a good
Mark it
role
with a
model,
marker. Mark it
can't
with
be a
mark it
good
with a
role
jiffy
model.
marker.
Be a very
Yeah.
bad example. So that's from the dough. Okay, there's water here. I don't want this.
Joseph? No. 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 My mother says it's dome shaped. I think you're referring to potato domes. You know, the classic.
Well, you used to fight?
Yeah, potato
Go
domes.
down with the potato
I
dome?
would say that they're Inuit because they're like the Inuit, they're slightly igloo shaped.
Okay. I'm stepping off for 1 second because I worked hard and I'm taking a
You take a break. I tell you what,
break.
I'm gonna make a cocktail while you do
Make a
that.
cocktail.
How about that?
Taking 2 puffs.
Hey, everybody!
And after your cocktail, we'll try with your mom's dough.
We'll try with my mom's dough. Oh, heavens, that sounds filthy. What are you looking for?
A fork. I just got it.
What, a fork right here.
I'm seeing the edges on from the side.
You deal with your edges. I'm gonna move over here. The water is boiling.
Yes.
We're gonna go and make a second cocktail. This is our Gonzo Martini, also referred to very often as a blue martini. It's a blue martini not because it's filthy, but it is a little dirty, ironically. You see what I did there? No. It's a blue martini, and traditionally, we're going to deal with basically a very traditional martini recipe. Normally, classic martini, which I'm a big fan of, the dirty martini, which is 3 ounces of gin to a soupçon of dry vermouth, just a hint of dry vermouth, to a little bit of olive juice. Get that nice and stirred, not shaken. And this is very similar. In this case, we're doing a vodka-based martini. Just because it's neutral, gives a little bit more. You don't have for this. You get a little bit more of a flavor that I think works. To give us our Gonzo color, we're going to use some beautiful blue curacao. This is a gorgeous one that's from Gatineau. Artist in residence. It's excellent curacao. Huh?
Do they sell that in Quebec, or did we pick that up in Ontario?
No, they sell it in Quebec. Yeah, it is a Quebec
I
company.
know, but I remember going to the LCBO and they had such a bigger range of
Yeah.
all of the product.
Yeah. So we're going to do that. So again, this is going to be a really simple martini. I'm going to make them 2 in a row. So I'm not going to make them at once, just because I found with a martini you don't want to do that.
That's perfectly good.
So I'm just going to grab it while you look at people wait.
Yeah. Hey, how are you?
Thank you. We are going to make our martini. So into this, we're going to start off with 3 ounces of vodka. You can see why this was the drink we decided to put late in the show.
Yeah, because I never get drunk on this show.
Neither of us do.
Never.
So 3 ounces of vodka. Any vodka will do. I suggest you choose your favorite. In our case, we're going with Tito's.
Tito's is also an excellent just drinking straight vodka.
Yeah, it's a really good vodka. It's a corn-based vodka. So if you want something a little more traditional, there's a variety of things you can go with. I like, if you don't know a lot of good vodkas, in Quebec, I like M vodka is really nice. I also, if you just want something that's very popular, I would go with Iceberg.
I don't see. It's funny. I don't like Iceberg. I prefer Kettle.
Kettle? Kettle's fine.
I prefer Kettle.
Kettle's fine. I'm saying Canadian though, so that's why.
That's fine. As you do that,
We're gonna go into this. We're gonna add a 1/2 ounce of blue curacao. And oh, sorry, I forgot one thing.
Never mind. I'm actually, when I make them for you, whoever you are, I promise you I will not use my fingers this way. But because I'm doing them for me and Danny, we're popping them in boiling water for probably about 3-ish minutes. Sorry, you stepped away, so I took.
I know, but
took my
okay, I just
opportunity.
already there. Okay, cool. So, and the last thing I'm going to add to this, just to round out the flavor, is just a little bit more, a dash of Angostura bitter. We're going to put some ice into our mixing cup, and we are going to stir that up. So here we go. Boom.
Oh, Iceberg is from Newfoundland, apparently.
Yeah, it is. It's Canadian. It's won a ton of awards around the world. It's an excellent vodka. I really like it.
You're roll on it?
I like it. Normally I would do this with a stirring mixing cup, but for some reason I didn't bring the mixing cup. I decided to keep this one. This is not what I would normally do a mixing cup with, so I'm just going to go. No, it's too late. I'm going to go with this. We already got it. There we
It's
go.
all over now.
So we're just going to keep doing that. Why are we using the mixing cup and not shaking? Because we don't want to crack the ice as much. We want to control the dilution a little bit. There we are. Now that we have that done, we're going to take our Gonzo Martini.
Oh la la, que c'est bleu. Oh, it's pretty. It's like the ocean.
There we go. Now, I'm just going to...
You're not putting olives in there, right?
No. I'm just going to... I don't think that that's blue enough.
Oh.
I think you deserve a little bluer. To be blown a little more.
Yes, I could be blown a little bit more, but I don't need to be any more blue than I've been.
So we're going to take, we played with this a little while ago. So we're going to add a little bit, just a smidge.
Butterfly pea.
Of the butterfly pea.
And no, that is not urine from butterflies. It is pea.
There we go.
P-E-A.
Oh, maybe we'll give you this one. Because that should have been shaken. Let's put that back in to the shaker.
Oh.
Should have been shaken. I should have shook that.
I
should have mixed. You see, and you said before, we don't mess up cocktails very much. And I just did just exactly that.
Oh.
So, there we go. There we go. That's a little more gross. That's a little more Gonzo.
It is beachy, isn't it? Oh, now it's definitely more Gonzo. Wow. Look at how a tiny bit of that butterfly pea flower just changed the entire color of that beverage. I love it.
And to this, we are going to dress it traditional cocktail, traditional martini style. So into this, we're going to take, that olive got away from me. There's an olive somewhere by your feet.
In my mouth. I clean the floor.
And we're just going to, boop.
The only place where the 5-second rule is still acceptable is in your own house.
So you want a little bit of that sweet from the, the sweetness from the orange curacao mixed with, there you go, my love.
I'm coming in 1 second.
You can do that. That is the Gonzo Martini, where we're using the blue pea flower, blue butterfly pea, powder to give it more of a Gonzo-esque color. But in the end run, it's still a traditional blue martini. If you missed it, let's just make one real quick one more time.
Did you? As soon as I put these in the pan, I will bring up the ingredients.
Oh, here, I got that. All right, here. I can do that.
If anybody's wondering what El Diablo is doing back here, I am taking my pierogies out of the boiling water. They've been boiling for about 4-ish minutes-ish. And I have put them into a frying pan with some melted butter. And we're just going to fry those puppies up.
So, one more time. We're going 3 ounces of vodka. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
We are going to add to this 1/2 ounce of the orange curacao. We are going to put into this a nice dash of the Angostura.
Hungry wife.
And lastly, into this, put in, and I'm going to do it at this point, just a, and again, I'm looking at a
smoothie.
Not even, like just less than a quarter teaspoon.
Like
Yeah, less than a quarter teaspoon of the blue butterfly pea powder. Very good for you.
And it's tasty.
It is very tasty. Ooh.
It's matcha, basically, for anybody who's
Yeah, so it's a matcha of sorts. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to take that. We are now going to...
I love olives. What do you need, my dear?
You need to be less blue.
Oh, you need to do that.
I blew myself. As
You could do that?
as
Thank you for...
what's his name? As David Cross once said very eloquently. Oh no, I blew myself.
Why, thank you.
You're not a big Arrested Development person.
I never watched Arrested Development.
There's a whole storyline about David Cross's character wanting to join Blue Man Group. And he got ready too early for a show that he thought he was going to go on, and he didn't. He said, oh no, I blew myself.
Wait, ironically, I think I've seen maybe 2 episodes of Arrested Development in my whole life, and I think I might have seen that.
It's a brilliant little thing.
Hey, what's
All
cooking?
right, so
We're
one
cooking
more time.
cocktails and pierogies.
So one more time, the Gonzo Martini. The perfect Gonzo color. Look at that. And finally, boom, to that, we are going to, get hurt. We're going to add our, there we are. We're going to add our olives. So,
Yummy.
I like a lot of olives in mine.
Well, you put 3 in mine, and then I just ate 4 more out of the jars. Things are happening.
I
over here,
like,
friends.
what you want in here is some salty, a hint of sweet, a little bitter,
A little bit of...
and a little boozy. It's the perfect martini. And it's blue. And how many times can you genuinely get to say you get to eat blue food? Blue food is one of those rare, wonderful things.
Here, let me cheers you now.
Oh, yeah, that's excellent.
It is excellent.
It doesn't taste at all what you'd expect.
Nope.
It tastes like a very traditional vodka martini.
Yep.
But you have a hint of the sweet because you get a little bit of the orange in there from the curacao. It's an excellent martini.
Indeed.
So let me get this out of your way.
If you could do that, that would be great. Because
Blow
I'm just
myself
going
over
to
here.
blow yourself over there. Because I've got to dry off this counter. Because I want to try, in a minute or two, rolling out your mom's dough and to see how that... Oh,
Roll your mom's dough like that.
I got some sizzling happening back here, friends.
You sizzle, you nizzle.
So, no. Nope. So, if you're not a pierogi person, as in you've never had a pierogi before, pierogies come in all varieties. They really do. You can get potato and cheese, which is a favorite of mine, potato and mushroom.
I like cherry.
There's cherry, there's blueberry.
I
bacon,
also
jalapeno.
mushroom and onion.
Mushroom and onion, mushroom and cheese and onion. Like, the sky is really your limit. So the potato is always there for the most part. So once you've figured this out, you can add whatever you want. You are the master of your pierogi disaster. What are you looking at?
I was wondering what you were going to rhyme it with.
Oh, always master and disaster. I don't know why. I didn't pull out the little hot cooker thingy because there was just so much going on the counter. So I feel bad.
I'm annoyed that this isn't working today.
I know you are.
Because we have so much here, and I want to show you.
I know, but don't worry, I'm going to pop them on a plate in a minute, and everyone can see their magnificent glory.
They're beautiful.
They are.
Do you want me to bring the cooker out?
They're glorious. Well, not yet, because we still have rolling to do. So
We've got rolling.
We've got rolling to do. We're rolling. Is that Limp Bizkit? No.
Yep.
Was it?
Yep.
Fred Durst was Limp Bizkit.
Fred Durst was Limp Bizkit. I also know that because it was also the theme song to The Undertaker when I was a big wrestling nerd. Wrestling fan.
Friendlies. Can we talk about tongs for a second?
Tongs.
I used to use these on the barbecue, and that was pretty much the only place I would ever use tongs. I didn't use them to flip meat. I didn't use them for anything. These were like, in my mind, this was a barbecue tool only. Never more. I am obsessed to
Tongs
the point.
are needed for everything. You
Well,
need every kind of tongs.
And not only that, but it's
There's
helpful
many
when
different
you
sizes.
have many sizes of tongs for grabbing pasta. I'm flipping my
This
pierogies
one's for picking up babies
Just
by the scruff. Like their mama would do.
the scruff of the baby.
The scruff of the baby. Baby scruff.
Baby scruff.
Nope.
I tried. It didn't work. I wasn't going to go. I was not going to pursue it if it didn't work past the first 2 seconds, and it did not. All right.
All right. So your pierogies are coming.
These buddies are done.
All right. Let's bring your pierogies out. Show your
Hold on, I
pierogies.
just want to turn this
Let's
off.
show your pierogies on the show. Let me go overhead here.
Go overhead.
Ready?
Whee!
Look at these lovely homemade pierogies. Now again, figure the dough. We could have used the dough you made.
I did use the dough.
No, the dough you made on the show.
Yeah.
You used the filling we made on the show.
Yeah.
So this is what I love is that theoretically, pierogies are one of those things you always buy them frozen, and in half an hour, theoretically.
The thing that's a little bit longer about this is because we caramelize the onions. That was about half an hour. The mashed potatoes. So it's a lot of easy steps. It's a bit more time consuming because I did start the mash and the onions before the show started. But I would say conservatively from start to finish, with a little bit of dough rest, in 2 hours maximum.
You can have 80 different.
Well, you can have as many pierogies as your little arms can roll. I'm just going to grab us a poquito sour cream.
Poquito sour cream.
You cannot have...
Now, I will say that normally we would do them with the bacon and the onion.
I would definitely do you know what I have?
You do.
Sorry, Audrey. You're getting 3 less than you were going to get before.
They do look good. Air fryer, you could also get air fryer would be great for those
The
too.
only thing with the air fryer is I might want to here. I owe you 1 extra shallot, Audrey. There you go.
Come back again.
The only thing with the air fryer is I might want to egg wash them. Because I don't know if anybody else, Misty, this is mostly directed at you, but I don't know if anybody else feels this way. I find when you're trying to fry things that are dough-based or like...
I would still, I'd still boil them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I might boil them first regardless. But I find like I've bought frozen spring rolls and stuff like that before that when you put them in the oven, they cook up real nice. But when you stick them in the air fryer, they just end up kind of feeling doughy. Mm-hmm. So either give them like a quick blast with an olive oil mist.
Oh, the dough is perfectly rolled. I don't know who did that, but that guy was cool.
Some cool guy.
Some cool guy did that.
Some super cool guy.
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay, these are extremely.
Really good.
I use big cloves of garlic. These are very garlicky.
I love them. I also think that we got the dough the right thickness.
You got the dough the right thickness. It had
nothing to do. You started it.
No, you started it.
Yeah, those are great. Filling's delicious. Some garlic. I love the garlic in it. To me, that's always excellent. These little.
Misty says she's drooling. Well, guess what? I'm delivering soup tomorrow, so we'll talk.
Yeah, excellent.
Those are really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny that
vegetarian?
Yeah, vegetarian. Because I didn't put bacon in them this time.
Oh, there's not vegan.
They're not vegan, but I'm sorry. On s'en fout.
In run, you're making a dough. You're making a potato-based batter. You could make a vegan version of this very easily.
Using what in place of egg?
Water.
Egg. Okay. This is.
You can use fake egg, but I mean, again, you could use aquafaba.
See, and aquafaba I've seen used for cocktails. I don't know how it behaves when you're baking, or making dough.
But again, this is just a basic flat dough that you're boiling. It's not like you really have to worry about it rising and respond. It's you know.
No, for sure. The other thing that I'm noticing now that they've come out of boiling and frying, and can you go overhead for 1 second?
Oh, sorry.
Pardon my fingers.
Yeah.
So we see what happened here. This is all like the potato's not escaping. The seal is excellent, but it has separated here a little bit. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's weird.
But so this is what I was going to say is I might have deferred to you a little bit and either sealed it with water or
egg
and put an egg.
Yeah.
I think water, because the other problem is that ugly guy, he got too wet. So, I
know the feeling.
I don't know.
I think they're really good. Pierogies.
Yeah.
We talked about.
We'll wait.
We talked about many things we'd cook on the show. For some reason, pierogies was never in my head, but man, pierogies are great, perfect things for the show.
Because pierogies are one of those things that I'm definitely guilty of buying frozen. Or also.
Oh. I can't breathe. Oh, I just started mashing my microphone. I can't breathe pierogi yet.
Yeah. Sometimes you go to like a farmer's market or like a Ukrainian festival and you meet a little old lady and you buy her pierogies. I don't have to do that anymore. I can make my own pierogies.
Never buy the little old lady.
No,
They shun that.
just her pierogies.
Hey, do you ever want to hear another question?
Yeah.
I have another question.
You have another question. I'm just going to move this over because I want to make at least another 6 with your mom's dough. So
Okay,
I just
well, you
want
do
to
that. I figure while you do that, I can ask another question.
You fully can.
I'm going to do just that.
I think you should.
Don't stop me.
Don't stop me now.
Next question. I like this one. If you could replace any movie with an entire Muppet cast, which one would you want to see?
Showgirls.
Showgirls, the Muppets? Oh, that's a really... Who plays Nomi?
I think...
And you can't have... Miss Piggy has to play the Gina...
Oh, no. Miss Piggy plays Gina Gershon for sure.
Yeah.
Crystal Slippers or... No, Crystal... That's the drag queen we know. Crystal... What the frick's her last name?
Crystal?
Crystal.
Crystal Harrison?
No. Big Bird as Nomi Malone.
Big Bird as Nomi Malone.
Big Bird as Nomi Malone.
That would be excellent.
Oh my god.
That would be excellent. I could, yeah. That's actually kind of interesting. There's a lot of things. Somebody put up there one that I was thinking right away, which was Titanic. I think would be a great. But for some weird reason, I also think
Your mother's dough is already much better.
I think that the Usual Suspects.
Okay, so who plays Kevin Spacey in the Muppet version?
Kevin Spacey.
Who is Kaiser
Kevin
Soze?
Spacey's played by Scooter.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Kermit plays the Gabriel Byrne character.
Okay.
Swedish Chef plays the who's
Stephen
the guy?
Baldwin?
No, the guy you don't understand.
The guy I don't understand. Oh, the
In the movie, the
yeah. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. The actor, but yeah.
He's Benicio del Toro.
Del Toro, yes.
And Stephen Baldwin is played by Fozzie.
Okay. Does Rolf get in on this action?
Rolf is the assistant to
what was his name?
Mr. It was East Indian, wasn't it? An Indian name?
I thought it was a Japanese name.
No. Anyways,
Anyway, yep.
that and then Kevin
Klein?
No,
Kevin,
the other.
yeah.
I think he would be played by Miss Piggy. I think it'd be a great movie.
And the Chaz Palminteri character played by Sam the Eagle?
Oh, that's excellent. That's so good.
I forgot about San Diego
what,
and
in
Sweetums.
all fairness, or Chaz Momentary.
All right, what does everyone have to say?
What does everybody else have to say? Let's see what everybody has to say.
Maureen, thank you so much.
Oh, this is a good one. Everybody's getting right into this one.
Yay.
Oh, I like this one.
We should make these movies. That should be our next quarantine.
Travis, Titanic, yes. More Titanic from Misty. Any Avengers movie from Joe.
Nice.
The Matrix from Ruby. I like that. Batman, The Dark Knight from Tyler. Newsies from Maria Boucher.
Oh my God, Newsies. That's a movie I haven't thought about in years.
I think Misty has maybe nailed it. Trainspotting or Memento.
Oh, what's the one? What's the freaking super disturbing movie that I've seen twice in my life and I could never watch again?
Oh,
I
you're
love
talking
it.
about
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem for a Dream would be Muppets Requiem for a Dream would be excellent. The one we saw the other night, Muppets version of Dark City would be
Dark
really
City?
Good. Really good.
Oh, also, if you haven't seen Dark City, see that movie.
It's an excellent film.
It was an excellent
It's one of
film.
those brilliant sci-fi films that not a lot of people have seen. Written and directed by the same guy who did The Crow.
How would y'all feel about a Stir Crazy movie night?
We can do that.
Let us know in the comments.
That
That might be fun, actually.
be interesting. Trainspotting. Love that. Snatch.
I love Snatch. It's such a good movie.
Silence of the Lambs from Audrey. Nosferatu. Requiem. Double-ended dildo scene with Muppets. Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
Come on.
Muppets Inception. I think you take it one step further. You do Muppet Tenant. There's so many. I think Muppet. You know, what'd be really great. Muppet Godfather.
But then it would be the Muppet Dogfather and it would be Rolf. I am so good at this.
Vanilla Sky. That might be excellent. Or you know what I would.
I'm
even
thinking
make?
Dazed and Confused too, with all
Dazed
of
and
the
Confused?
Electric Mayhem people.
I would even go to something like old, or go like. I would actually. You know, what Dave would generally be interesting to see would be a Muppet version of Wizard of Oz.
I somehow knew you were going to say that, and I was like, please don't say Wizard of Oz, because they already have. I guess.
I think a Muppets Wizard of Oz would be interesting because very few people have really touched Wizard of Oz. There was a little period about the late 2000s where they were doing.
Can you see my face?
Dark versions of
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. My favorite was Tin Man that Zooey Deschanel did. I really liked that.
I swear to you, we talk about this all the time, and if I don't know if I've ever said this on the show before, and if I have, please forgive me. Return to Oz. I don't know what year that freaking movie came out.
It's like 84, 85.
But to this day, the scene in Return to Oz with all the heads in the jars screaming, it haunts me. I have seen that movie one time and I am almost 43 years old and it still haunts me. It was so scary for absolutely no reason.
But as a kid, we all have that movie. That's beautiful dough. That dough came out. Look at this dough. Let's go back into here. Take a look how gorgeous that dough is. There it is.
Maureen, thank you. This is
it's very nice and thin dough.
Yeah, it's thin. I didn't cut a huge piece because there's only so many pierogies one potato lover can eat in a sitting.
Well, you're gonna cut some doughs now.
Plus, full disclosure.
Your water is not on. I'm gonna put your water back.
It's okay. Full disclosure, we have Calbee beef in the fridge too, so I'm just gonna chill on how many pierogies I eat.
I'm gonna put water back up. We have that. I think this has been good. This is an excellent question. I think keep going with your Muppet movies.
I'm just gonna say one thing. Mm-hmm. For anybody who took I should have cut that better. Anyone who took the recipe or is looking to do this and is looking at my recipe that I had posted for this the other day, I'm going to change it and I will send out this recipe for dough. It's a lot easier to work with. It is so easy. 3.5 cups of flour, 2 eggs, a teaspoon of salt, and a cup of milk.
I will update. I will update the event and the YouTube video with the correct.
But I cannot get over how much easier this dough is to work with. I think mine last night that I tried just didn't have, like I said before, the the wet to dry ratio wasn't right,
off, yeah.
and it was making me so well.
But I mean, we had them. They're delicious.
They're good.
They're really good pierogies, and they hold up very well.
Oh no, there's nothing. Ironically, for all of the bitching and complaining I did, there's nothing wrong with my dough. It just
They're garlicky. It's so garlicky. I love it.
I'm gonna
Oh,
fill.
I love it.
All right, I was gonna fill these ones with last night's filling because that's a little less garlicky.
Oh, I
but
love the garlic. It's so good.
I'll put this back with the dough. So there you have it, friends.
That is that.
I'm just gonna fill.
I want to. While you're doing that,
Yeah?
I want to go about one thing. And I need to say this because we're doing a Muppets episode, and I have to say this
Okay.
because I will say that I'm not as giant a fan of Muppets, especially as you are.
Does that have to do with our age, do you think?
No, I have an issue with the Muppets in the past, let's say 15 years. For some reason, in the past 15 years, I feel like, you know what the,
Oh, I know exactly.
you know
what you're
what's
gonna
the
say.
effect it's called when like the Berenstein Bears thing that happens?
Oh, that I don't know. I thought you were
it's
going to
called
talk
the
about
Mandela effect. Right?
Mandela effect.
The
or
Mandela.
Mandela.
Mandela effect, is it? The
No, I
Mandela
wasn't
effect.
sure. It was a
so
it was
I-
a genuine question.
Yeah. I believe it's sort of like a Mandela effect, where at some point in the world, we decided as a society that the Muppets were just real. And we
They are real.
treated them as if they were. And it drives me crazy. When they put out, the Muppets did that new...
Oh, it was terrible, that series, though.
The Office-style
Mm-hmm.
show, but they had the whole thing where Miss Piggy and Kermit broke up, and it was covered in every news.
But
But they say, come on, these are two
Okay, but
puppets that can't break up or honestly be together.
okay, but at this, so me too, Misty. I wanted to love it so much, and I was like, ugh, stop. Which is why tomorrow, you know what I think the thing is though, is if like Marge and Homer Simpson broke up at this stage after this many years of The Simpsons being on TV, I think people would have a similar reaction too. It's not so much that they're puppets and we've made them real. It's that they're characters that we've invited into our lives, and now
what I'm also basing that on is, in all fairness, they will interview the Muppets. Like, news people will interview Kermit and Miss Piggy, not Jim Henson or Jim Henson's son.
Jim Henson's dead, so
or Jim Henson's son, or a variety of different people who have voiced these characters, who've written these characters, who've created these characters. They will interview Kermit and Miss Piggy. And that drives me crazy. And I know I believe in the suspension of disbelief.
So
but
we
this
did start.
drives
We
me
did start
crazy.
this. We started this episode saying you were more like Ernie because nothing bothers you, and I'm more like Bert because everything bothers me. And this is something
And
that
that's
really
true. Everything
does-
bothers you, and one thing bothers me.
just one thing, and it's
Yeah.
me. But no,
Not
it's
you.
but it's funny because this doesn't bother me at all. I think like one of the best. I used to do a lot of the Just for Laugh galas. I was lucky enough to be hired to perform in a lot of them, and so I never used to go see a lot of them. But after I stopped doing JFL, I still didn't go see them actually because I used to get tickets, or I had friends in the shows or whatever. But the one that I paid for was to go see when the Muppets were here doing Just for Laughs, and that was epic. Watching the Swedish chef make poutine was epic. Like, it was just, I think it's online somewhere, or that maybe JFL has released it for post-viewing pleasure, but it was good stuff.
Cool. So you're doing that now?
We got 5 of these left, and then...
We've got 5 minutes left. Next week, let's talk about next week.
Sure.
Next week's show, which we're calling The Nightcap.
The Nightcap.
It is it's all about late night snacks and the perfect nightcap cocktails.
So we're having a slumber party.
Basically, so
it.
we're gonna be in pajamas of sorts.
Because we really like to do that.
Yeah, we're doing pajamas, so that it makes it really easy to dress.
Yeah. I cried too.
What would you cry about?
Misty said she cried with the Muppets. First of all, Rainbow Connection can start, and I lose my shit. Like, I collect, like, as a...
I have the same thing for heroin.
Wait, when Rainbow Connection starts, you do heroin?
No, when I do heroin, I lose my shit.
Oh, that's... to go back to the train spotting statement, that's probably not so uncommon.
Yeah. No, but it's all about next week's gonna be. Oh, look how perfect!
Go overhead, one
Let me
second.
Go overhead. Sorry.
Here's
There
my
you go.
little guys. Here's these
Look
little
at
guys.
these
Little guys.
Look at those
Look at my
little
little
guys.
guys.
Look at them. Adorable.
All right.
Yeah, so
Into
next
the
week
water they go.
it's our slumber party. So if you're going to be in your slumber
Jam jams.
party jams
Or nude.
or nude, then
Whatever you want.
send
However
us
you sleep.
pics. Whatever you want. Come join us. We're going to have so much fun. Go tell your friends. One of the things we got to do is
Yes.
we
please.
want to create this big buzz about here. So if you have friends who've yet to watch the show, but you think, hey, they would love this show,
Invite them along.
invite them along. Watch it together. Set up a watch party. We'll do
Oh
it.
my goodness, that would be so much fun. A stir crazy watch party that we can't watch, but still, you
Yeah.
can watch it.
So yeah, and so next week we're gonna be in our pajamas. We're gonna make some late night snack food. What does a late night snack food consist of for you?
Well, it's funny because I'm such a stoner that a late night snack normally starts with, I want a pickle. And then it goes to, now I want some chocolate. Now I need a chip. So it's like this weird,
Yeah.
and also, and no one is gonna be pleased about this. One of my favorite late night snacks is actually veggies and dip. But more for the dip than the veggies because vegetables are really
But
only,
if you want to say
vegetables are really only a delivery vehicle for sauce.
what's a good, like, you had to say this is the perfect late night snack that would cover anybody, whether you're you want to it's slumber party night.
Nachos.
Nachos?
I would say nachos
Nachos
are great,
are a
but
good thing.
I have more faith in our viewers than to believe that they need
I think egg rolls are always good.
anything like a little greasy, a little cheesy.
I also like a little sweet.
I don't
I
see it.
also like a little sweet. And weirdly, breakfast is always good late night for me.
Well, back in the day in Montreal, and some people will remember this, we used to have Picasso's on Saint Jacques, which is next to or basically attached to Cabaret des Amazons. That used to be a great because you could get breakfast and a beer at 5 in the
Yeah.
morning, and it was the bomb.
Yeah.
It's on love.
That's on.
That's on love. Those pierogies need another minute or 2 minutes.
Yeah. So that next week, bring a friend
Yeah.
along. We're gonna have a big part. We're gonna have a nice party. We got this next little few shows. We're gonna have some big ones coming up because we're also
On hiatus for a bit.
before that though. Long before that, we have our 1 year anniversary coming up.
Oh, c'est vrai.
So we're gonna need to do something pretty big for that.
I think we need new merch.
We'll do new merch.
I
for
think
the
we
1
need
year
a
anniversary.
special 1 year anniversary shirt. If you agree,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah. So, and if you don't, if you want the merch that we have right now, which is the socialized but distantly, you can go
You let us
to
know.
stircrazy.shop
And
and order anything you want there.
and literally FedEx called me today, and I wasn't here to pick up the call, but we have new aprons coming
New
in
aprons
too.
coming in?
Yep.
So
Sorry.
colors of the aprons?
I don't want to say that right now because I'm focused on not burning things. Maybe 25.
Yeah. So we're gonna have that. Yeah. So we have that coming up. Plus we have before we go on hiatus, we have the goodbye to the original Stir Crazy Studios. That episode will be coming up in second week of April.
Do you know how much I'm just warning you now? Mama's going to need tissues for her issues that night because we are moving out of here. I bought this place.
And I'm dead inside.
I bought this place 11 years ago? Maybe longer, maybe 12 years ago now. And I've been here. It was my swinging bachelorette pad for a while. And then we got married. And now it's our...
That was my swinging bachelorette
Now it's
pad.
his swinging bachelorette pad. And it seems very, very odd that we're moving out of here, but because it's a pandemic, we can't have a party. We can't have you guys in our house. So let's do a big blowout, say goodbye to the Stir Crazy Studios thingy eventually. So yeah.
Yeah, so what we're trying to do right now is get more people to know about this show as we're coming into the last few episodes of this before we go on hiatus.
Yep.
So we ask you, like, subscribe, share it with your friends, do everything. Just
If
get
you've made a recipe of ours that you really love, feel free to tell people. you
Yeah.
know? If you've eaten food that we've made for you that you've really loved, feel free to tell people. Thank
That'd
you,
be great.
Audrey Ivory, for like 4 posts on salad. I really appreciate you so much. So much.
With that being said, I'm the Divine Danny.
I am El Diablo.
We will see you next week for a night camp.
You stay safe. Wear a mask. Don't travel.
Don't travel.
Because that shit makes me mad.
Yes, stay exactly where you are. And never
And
change.
just the way you are.
Bye! Bye.